tuning in to the Planet Pert podcast. This is a always press record production.
Man, introduce us, man. Bring us in, man.
We in already. Planet Pert Podcast 2.0, episode number 4.
I love what the
Tonight's special, we're in the studio with Duke.
Yes, sir. Black Label Truth, man.
Mr. Rodney.
What's going on?
Mr. Slim Thin now, you know.
The locksmith. At the locksmith.
Hit that lock, man.
The locksmith not doing
The locksmith.
Hey, I got Tim in here. I got Carl in here, man. D-Rose as usual, man.
Y'all know what it is,
We're back
man.
for another episode, man. How was y'all week, man?
Man, it was good, man.
Did we do anything special?
The week is
We got through the week. That was
man. This Houston weather is so fucking bipolar to us too, man. Like we stepped outside yesterday, we had to have on a tank top.
I know.
Man,
I ain't gonna lie, it's 40.
last night.
So I step outside this morning, getting ready to go to work. Nigga, I stepped outside, it was raining, it was cold. I was like, oh no, I'm working from home today. Like I hear my man on the text. I say, hey man, I'm waiting on an expensive package to come, man. If you need me, man, just hit me.
That's like one of the old school days when you burn off with the jacket in the morning and you go to school and you end up putting that on your backpack because it's hot to the bitch.
That's that Houston weather.
It's been up and down, man.
I'm down with the cool. I like it cool.
I like it cool too. It's cutlass weather, man. I was gonna bring the old school out tonight, man. I just ain't feel like it's such
You
a
gotta
hassle.
warm that bad bitch up, man.
It's such a hassle, bro. Like, and then I was like, damn. I was like, I got a full tank in there. I got no gas in the Honda. I was like, fuck. If you finesse, I was like, nigga, at some point you gotta put gas in the Honda. So, all right, whatever. So I just kind of chopped it up to that, man. Yeah, man. Another great week, man. Like I say, shit, we living. So blessed to be here.
Amen.
I do want to make an announcement that, you know, next week we will be full HD cameras, you know.
Yeah.
You know, our sponsors came through.
Take it a step at a time.
Nah, like motherfucker. This ain't got no sponsors. That's my broke ass credit card, nigga.
We out the mud with this, man.
Yeah, man. So we left off last week talking top 5 producers, which Carl brought up an interesting topic for us, man. And we got producers in the house, you know, Black Label, E04, you know, in the building, man. These guys have been doing this for what, 20 years now?
Close.
It seemed like it.
Gotta be 20 years, right?
About 17. I say about 17.
Yeah, I'll actually I'll tell you a little bit about how I actually got into production. Because my first thing I was doing was DJing. So I was just mixing on CDJs initially. And then I went to my cousin's house out in the country, of all places, out in Shiro, Texas. You know. Yeah, exactly. It's
like we used to go out there when we were young and like spend a couple weeks.
We having fun in the morning.
Man, we'd be running through the woods doing all kind of shit, man. It was great, bro.
Amazing.
It was awesome. Country boys, man. City country niggas.
But at the same time.
Okay.
So pretty much I went out there, me and my boy Carlos, who probably should be on the podcast.
Yeah, man.
My boy, shout out my boy.
Yeah, man.
Solos Music 713.
He cold, man.
He the truth.
He cold, man.
But we went out there, my cousin Randy, he had downloaded a demo to Fruity Loops. And Fruity Loops, I got on here. I seen him playing with it, and I was like, these are beats. You can actually make beats. And I was like, I don't need all that hardware. This is free.
Yeah.
I said, fuck that. I'm just gonna buy this home. Yeah. So when I got home, you know, I had a job at Smoothie King. I saved up all my money, and I put it on layaway. So, and I think that was in 2001 because 2000 we graduated. So this was the following summer.
Okay.
So that year is the year. So the summer of 2001. So August of 2001 is when I really learned that I wanted to make beats.
Okay, so you had 17 years. Okay.
Yeah, 17. About 17 years. That was when I, first got into the beats. Because like I said, I was doing mixtapes and doing stuff with people like Heavy Chevy, A3, those guys.
Okay.
Cool, Heavy Chevy.
Yeah, shout out to Heavy Chevy.
Yeah, he wanted to sit down. We go get with him soon.
Yeah, and another guy by the name of A3, he actually was signed to He did some work for Rec Shop. He actually wrote "Just a Dog" by Big Mo.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm just a dog, don't blame me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's actually written down, but that's what Los actually told me.
Right.
He had songs with Mike Jones. He was actually a really good artist. He got songs with Tupac, and they came out of our camp, Infamous Records.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and then one year, I guess I was in college, and I think it was the same year. Me and Rodney kind of came across each other because he went to SFA for 2 semesters.
Okay.
And then I seen him up at the school. I was like, man, what's that, Rodney? I said, Rodney! 'Cause me and Rodney, we played football together in school. And I seen him over there at HCC, and I told him what I was doing. At first, he was supposed to really just be the accountant. Because I really needed somebody to handle my business, and he was actually going to school for that. And I was like, all right, cool, let's go ahead and get started. I want you to be my manager or whatever. So one day, I didn't really want to give my copy of Fruity Loops away.
Exactly.
But I've always trusted Rodney. I don't know why.
Right.
But I gave him a copy of the Fruity Loops.
Well, I think first it was like he was working on something.
I was working on tracks, and he used to come by the house.
And we did like I did something like I think we worked on something that made you want to say hey I'm gonna let him get a copy of it.
Okay.
Because he used to just come out of the house over there on Chimney Rock in Sharon Park Village.
There you go.
And just, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He used to come by and we used to just make beats.
How many instruments do you play, bro?
I played drums fluently and then just a little bit of piano. That's the keys on the piano.
That's solid, though.
Self-taught?
Man, yeah,
Just
self-taught.
a little bit.
Yeah,
That was like a humble flex right there.
Hey, my man, I say he's self-taught too.
Yeah, self-taught on the drums. Yeah.
Self-taught on the
Hey,
drums.
And then,
self-taught is the best way.
Yeah, man.
I was trying to lay that guitar down, man. Learning that, but I think
was about to say that.
think I got jacked from a guitar.
Don't
when they
worry
brought
about the
me to
guitar.
my
We'll
car,
find out.
man.
Really? Yeah.
So so something I'm come back up on.
So
that,
he
though.
really been doing it for around a few months after I had started. So we both about the same amount of time.
Okay.
Because I was doing tracks. I had even sold tracks by myself. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So maybe about a year or so.
Yeah, it wasn't too long. Yeah,
But then we just started hanging out together. So we were already friends. We was like close as fuck in high school in 9th grade. We had environmental science with Ms. Milner. Ms. Milner was she was biology.
yeah, she was a beast.
She was cool.
So I used to love Ms. Milner. She was a cool woman. She was cool. She was a good white woman. I ain't gonna front on her.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah.
Stratford.
Yeah.
That's about it. Right now,
She's a good woman, bro.
Yeah, she took care of business, man. She actually cared about us, though.
Yeah,
she
she did. And she cares about the environment and stuff like that, which kind of made me a little bit more.
Shout out to good educators.
Yeah.
That's
And I had the highest grade in one of the classes, too. They used my grade as the curve, too.
That ain't smash.
That's dope.
Yeah, they used my, and I was an alright student when I was engaged.
So at what point did you decide to go in business together?
We was pretty much in business from the day of the day that we started working, because he was supposed to be my manager. We was still first. I was, like I said, I was with a crew called with Infamous Records in high school, but I was just a DJ. So I would make CDs, but I didn't really want to change the ER, so we call ourselves Emergency. So that's why we have our logo on our phone, on my phone. You see, this is let me see. Hold on. You see the back of this?
Yeah.
So you see, that's like the. It's like the emergency room, the ambulance.
Yes.
And this is our logo right here.
Oh, it's like.
So we call ourselves emergency room because
I got that on my hoodie, man.
Yeah.
I got me.
So we went with emergency room because we were like, we gonna fix these boys. If they need something, we'll go ahead and doctor them up. Pretty much.
Okay.
Fix them boys.
But I think it was just something. It was really something that just happened.
It was really, we was
because
friends.
like I say, I was supposed to be doing music. I mean, I was supposed to be doing the accounting part. And I came back from playing football, and it just didn't, they wasn't giving out scholarships, so niggas said I had to come back home. So I came back home, and it just started happening, man. And we started making some stuff together where it was just the chemistry, though. Like, I would play a couple of just little something here, little keys there, and then he would put the drums.
Yeah.
And then, you know, we go back to it now. I can go back to some of the first tracks we did. It was some bangers that I'll still bang. Like, but then it was some of them like,
of course,
it started the chemistry.
Yeah.
And it just led on to more, man. It just led on to more and more, and we just got like better together, man. And I think the thing was we both are humble. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when we both looked at each other, it's like, man, I don't care what part you do. I don't care what part you do. I learned from him.
Right.
Like, I learned a lot.
Right.
And he, like I said, he set me on to the career I'm on, because really he just gave me the program and then let me like just play around. I just sat there and played around.
Yeah. So what do you think is the key to longevity of business?
Chemistry.
Because you guys have been doing this for 17 years. What do you think the key is to that? Because you know, you see a lot of people like Mustard and YG started out together, then they was like, oh, no, I'll fuck with him, and you know, they went through their little beef. What's the chemistry to that?
Well, they're really, I ain't gonna sit up here and say I like everything that Rodney does, like in regards to the music.
Okay.
And you know, I'll put it to you like this: we both have regular jobs.
Okay.
And I'm up here all the time. With his job, he cannot afford to really be up here as much as I am.
Okay.
But I'm understanding, you know, so we have to kind of just balance each other. We push each other. If I got a client that says, hey, I need some tracks. All right, well, let me talk to my partner and we're going to get in here together.
Okay.
The main reason that we work so good together is because we involve each other. You know, we don't really do anything without each other. I've done tracks by myself.
Right.
And I can finish songs by myself. You know, but working with him, he's not a very, he's like a water sign. I'm a fire sign, so we kind of balance each other.
Okay.
You know, yeah, because I'm kind of intense when it comes to this stuff sometimes. Like, I get upset with, like, if something don't go right.
He brings the calming.
He'll get mad at stuff that I don't necessarily get mad at, you know, but I'm the one that's always in the trenches with the artists or the clients. So I'm the one that's always, you know, in the mix. He don't really have to do that, which kind of like helps the balance too. You know what I mean? And I mean, when I say I don't like something, now, you know, we don't like every single beat that we all do. We just sat in here and went through about 60 beats for y'all got here. And we was like, let me skip that one. Let me skip that one. That one ain't tight. And then we'll just hit a little cluster where it's like, we got 15 bangers. You know what I mean? Or we got this cluster of 10 out of 8 or 8 out of 10 that was just impeccable. Like, it's stuff that I don't, like, he'll do and I'll come back and put drums on it. Or if we got a goal, we work better when we know we have a goal. And I think a lot of that come from us being on the football team together too.
Okay.
He never disrespected me. He never came out of his neck towards me. Even when we was playing ball. You know what I mean? He always was a teacher in that regards, because I didn't play football initially, not in high school anyway. They had me playing linebacker and they had me playing defensive end, and the person that I had to be next to, I was in the middle and Rodney was on the outside, or we had to switch it up, and there was one other person there. I forgot who it was we played JV with. You know what I'm saying? But Rodney was always like a calm person, you know, for the most part.
Right.
Except for, you know, he would get his plays and he would go hard.
Right.
You know, because he used to sack niggas and do all kinds of shit. He was like really good. You know, he even played ball in college, you know, but his attitude is laid back, and I need somebody that's kind of laid back. I don't want nobody telling me what to do. I don't want nobody trying to control me. I'm a leader myself, and he's a leader. But we have the type of leadership that works together because of our personality type.
Okay, so when you say, I didn't take it that way. I don't think he did as well when you're like, I don't like everything he does, because I don't like everything some of my bestest friends do, right? Like, I mean, those are like,
that's just artists
from an artist,
from artistic speaking, and it's some stuff like we both, and I think that's why it works, because we both mesh is like, okay, hey man, hey, how about you do this? And we don't feel no type of way.
See, that's what I was going.
You see what I'm saying? We don't feel like he'll say, hey, I like that. Like it was a track that we just did, and we were listening to, and I was having the bass line go from low to high.
Yeah.
And he's like, man, I think let me move it. I think it'll go from high to low.
Yes.
And I was like, okay, he changed. I said that's cool.
Yeah.
Some niggas gonna be like, dog, why you that's how I wanted it.
So,
That's how I wanted it. Why you changing my shit? Like, no. And with me, dog, and that's what.
And I only think about it and when I do what I do,
I got you.
I'm only thinking from the perspective of the song.
And I think that's what helps because if you never understand artists, and I've noticed because I people watch, I look at things. Artists are not the most sane people.
No.
We have our minds think different, dog.
Because art.
I think
artistry is built off imagination, and so imagination is not always rational. It's not. It doesn't. It's not even always of this world. Your imagination don't have to make sense.
No.
You understand what I'm saying?
As long as it makes sense to yourself.
Think about some of those Picasso paintings. You be like, everybody's like makes a big deal, but it's like
money for
and the perfect example of that.
But it's because somebody understands that in his eclectic mind, there's a stroke of genius in there.
Right.
You know what I mean? He's seeing the world through a lens that's skewed that other people they just don't see it the same way. You know what I mean? And it comes out in his work.
And I'll give y'all a perfect example. I know Kanye been getting a lot of flack. But at the same time, when you look at his project called
Kanye, by the way, y'all.
He's probably, if we're gonna name our five.
Jesus was trash.
Jesus was trash, bitch. If we got this relationship, we talk crazy to each other, but it's nothing. But if you talk about the project, The Life of Pablo, it seems like it's kind of all over the place. It's a lot of good songs, but they don't all sound the same. Kind of like the college graduate, the college dropout. The college dropout, it has a sound. With The Life of Pablo,
it was a soundtrack, really.
Yeah. But in The Life of Pablo, it is put together like a Picasso painting. It's got like these. It's a mix of Yeezus and almost like Graduation. He's got these short songs that's real quick. They're abrupt, they're loud, and they are abrasive. But he also has smooth songs like Wolves on the project that actually kind of soften it up. Every song is not going to sound the same. Even some of the quantizing, and I like quantized tracks. I don't give a damn. But it's not necessary all the time. If you listen to a song with Kendrick Lamar, No More Parties in L.A., it was put together by Madlib, but you could hear the cuts in the sample, and that's good because it lets you know as a producer you can still make a good jamming song without the cuts of a sample being perfect all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and that's just my producer talk. We could have to do a whole.
No, I mean I feel like this is the producer
podcast on that.
Let me know, man. I'll shoot it.
But yeah,
we do something different.
And like you said, man, it's our minds just think different, though.
I think that works though, right?
Yeah, and that's why I think because our minds think different. I sleep and hear music.
Yes.
And the thing that pisses me off is when I wake up,
you can't put it.
That shit is gone. Like that shit is gone.
Hey,
like I just picture like I'm like.
Man, I'm telling you, I have had crazy dreams where I'm spitting like the livest verse I ever spit in my fucking life, and I'm like, where did she come from? And I wake up and it's like right on the tip of my tongue, and I'm chasing it, but I can't. It's like smoke. You can't grab it. You can't grab it. Yeah.
So some of the organic things that you can do sometimes come in the morning when you do wake up, right?
Yeah.
Like I did a verse today for Tim. Like it's a poem, really. I have no beat. I just heard the rhyme. I heard the rhyme in my head, and I touched upon so many different subjects to that, and I think that's just the artist in me. And I always tell people like when I want to learn, it's either before bed or when I wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
Like I watch my space shows and I go into my nerd shit right before bed. I've done it all week this week, man. The planets and space deepest secrets, like, because it just, when I go to bed, like it relaxes my fucking wired up ADHD ass brain, and it calms me down. Like, nigga, you don't know everything. Like, nigga,
more than what you think it is.
you know, it puts me to bed, and then in the morning time, like you can get into those different, you know, bags as well, man. I think as producers though, man, I don't look at, this is why where I was going with Kanye was, I think that whole Kanye is a balance, right? The Watch the Throne.
Yeah.
Probably can put that top 5 albums.
It's what Watch the Throne.
Yeah. It's not top 10, but top.
I didn't know you liked that album that much.
The Watch the Throne.
Yeah. That's a
no.
That's and you know what? I fucks with that album because I was like,
I told y'all 400 Degrees.
Kanye was probably at his peak right then, and Jay-Z.
And I think that that's a balance thing too.
True.
I think that comes a balance thing with Hov and Kanye.
They was like LeBron.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The yin and the yang. Right.
Yeah.
The yin.
Ain't that just like D-Wade?
Yeah, nigga, I know every song on the album. Like, that whole album was fucking bomb, but it's the yin and the yang. So, going back to the point of what I was saying is how did it work for 17 years? I think it is the yin and the yang. Yeah. You know, he got on the gray shirt, he got the black shit on right now. So I can see the yin and the yang coming into fruition, right? Like, and it's important that artists, producers, any type of creator has no type of feelings when it comes down to being like, hey man, let me change it this way. Don't be like, nah man, I like it. Like,
because it should be a common goal for one, and that common goal would allow you to be open.
Well, nigga, I got you to sing,
and I think that's what when we always came came up together, we came to agreement. It was like this is 50-50. Like, that's how we came with it.
And we always know that even if I just do one little thing, you know, I'm sharing this with you to do.
Right.
We like, even when we do something, bro, we don't like, well, you get this 1% or you get 2%.
Right.
It's all the way down the middle.
Right.
You know, the only way you do getting the whole thing is if you do that bitch all the way by yourself.
Right.
And that's very rare. You know.
That hardly.
But I need his ear, because I don't like everything that I do. So it's easy for me to not like something he do when I don't like everything I do myself. I'm harder on myself than anybody. You know what I mean? I have a very, very particular way that I want the music to sound.
So I
like this, like the DeLorean project. I worked on these songs, and I'm like, fuck, why they didn't bring them back to me so I could do this one little thing and go back over.
That shit sounded good.
You listen to it?
Well, you was just playing it. I'm banned from Facebook right now.
Oh, okay, yeah. But
no, literally, I deleted that.
Every time,
I haven't been on it in weeks.
Every time I work on something and they upload it, it's like, damn, I hear something different now. Damn, I wish I could go back.
I think that's the producer in you. That's the.
But I be hearing these flaws, man. I be like, fuck.
I do that.
But see, that's your because you.
And that's just my engineer ear too.
I'm gonna tell you about the both of y'all, right? And I'm gonna split it up because I've been in the studio with Rodney before, and Rodney get to making 3 or 4 beats within an hour and a half because he'll get the melody, he'll get some sort of the drums, he'll be like, man, fuck that shit, I'm gonna leave that shit for Derek, and he'll move on to the next. Now I've seen you try to get stuck at times, like trying to get them fucking drums, and they're like, man, shit, he start breathing heavy and shit, like, because he's a perfectionist, right? Rodney's like, I'm gonna just make 4 of these, and D's gonna come back and clean it up on the back end. That's why I seen the cleanup may be because you're a perfectionist, like you said. Your cleanup may be 4 days that it took him 4 hours to do because you want everything like that roll needs to, that transition, the drop. Like, I've seen it, bro. When I'm like, bro, that shit sound good to me. You're like, nah. Dang.
But I think that's what that works good too. Is because
it does.
It gives him a lot to say. Okay, well, I can do this, work on this, and then I can hear. Okay, I know where I want to go.
Yeah.
And then a lot of times I'll come in here and, like you said, just I hear something. Okay, it sounds good.
You get stuck, and
then I like, man, I already know D gonna knock this whole out.
Yeah, true.
Move on.
Yeah.
Move on.
Like, I got the
melody, but move on.
Fuck that.
And then
he do the same thing when we record.
True.
He'll just send me a track, And he already know what I'm gonna do when I come back.
Perfect,
I mean, I still
perfect examples of that I can say is what's that song that you got? I listened to that the other day. Chop up on some blades. I keep a tight faith. Paper checks.
Oh, paper check.
Yeah. I had actually 3 of us worked on it. Me, Los, and Rodney.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because Rodney did the main beat, but that nigga Daryl was in jail. I was like, man, this song gonna be hard.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I got a song for you. Though.
Yeah.
I just need you to get out that hook.
I love that song too.
You know what I mean? And then I was like, Rodney already did everything. I don't need to change the drums or do nothing. And then I was like, man, I'm gonna get Los to throw that sample on there. And then it was like, man, this part broke down. I'm gonna go in there and snatch the drums and shit off of the actual June 27 sample, because all of them drums on that second half of that beat, that's all in June 27.
Yeah.
I sampled that right out of there, out of the song.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I didn't go back and try. I just drew it in, cut it, and pasted it, and I just made sure that the tempo was the same. You know what I mean? And I just kept the loop in there, you know, just to make sure that it was gonna be cohesive. I kept the sample loop in there just so he can rap his verse and shit. You know, another song, Spike Lee. SpikeLee don't sound nothing like how we had it.
Oh no,
No.
I was kind of
When I first heard it, I was like, ooh.
but then I grew to love. You know, okay. So let me talk musical ears, right?
Excuse me.
Like, so when you get a beat in this one way and then you lay it down, when you listen to it the other way, it's some adjustment. Am I lying? It's an adjustment period to hearing the new way. Because I'm like, no, but I like it when it was. But then when you start getting into and then you listen to the new one, and the new one becomes the old. But the old becomes like
the old becomes the new.
and it just right. Yeah, right.
Like, maybe I do like this shit.
Yeah, but it actually opens up your ear, because I'm like, damn.
What was
He was right. Like, he was right. And it did break different, and then the breakdowns, and
It just needed to have. A little bit more of a transition, because it was 3 of y'all rapping on there, and the song was sounding kind of, to me, it was sounding just Reggie. It wasn't sounding good enough. I needed it to be a fucking hit.
Yeah,
I needed that bitch to smash. Soon as you come in and hit a song, at first the beat was just riding.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then I said, man, let me do this shit right here. So let me put these motherfucking hard ass little drawing drums on that bitch. Yeah.
And I hated that.
You tripping?
I know, but I'm talking from my artist brain, because D knows, like, if we make a song on Monday and they say you got a show at the Jet Lounge on Friday and do the new song, I'll probably be the only nigga on that stage
that even know
the beat could fall off when they had.
And he know the song already, like.
And I know the whole fucking song because I listened to it all week, back to back, brainwash. Go to the gym, I listen to it. You know, whatever the case is, like I trained myself like fucking Mayweather, man, like to really get deep into the bag of learning everything, learning everybody first. So for me, when I hear something different than what I've learned, that's when there's an adjustment period to things. You know what I mean? Like ear-wise. But now when I listen to it and when it comes on, I'm just like, that nigga was right.
Because when you listen to the old one, the old one didn't have that boom
all the way through. Coin Toss did the same thing. Like it was
when I heard Coin Toss, I knew that we had something on that bitch. I ain't gonna lie.
It's a great song.
We gonna put that bitch back up.
Yeah, it's still
man. Both of those.
Need a video.
the song? I'm trying to remember the one Josh.
Yes, we need a visual for
What was
that.
the one that we did where you recorded at the bar? The last song, not
Toast, not Papa Toast.
Not Geeked Up. Proposal Toast.
Yeah.
So he changed that whole beat. Like I don't even remember. We did that beat. Like I did the beat, we did it, and then he came out. He came and changed the drums. He changed all the drums on it, and I didn't even remember like the song. He changed so much on. I didn't even remember like the old version at all. But when he did to it, I was like, it was live.
Yeah.
But that's how it happened. Like he might go in there and find the old beat and just be like,
that's
"Hey, I want to switch this."
Well,
you know,
find some old shit.
Well, you know the thing is, and I'll put this to the artist too, because sometimes you have to do what you think is best for the artist. Just like I knew, I knew that that song would fit Daryl. I just didn't know how I was gonna fit them.
Yeah.
But I had the idea for them. With Josh or Jr. Houston, shout out Jr. Josh do not always pick good beats, and I say that he don't pick songs with good tracks. And sometimes Rodney will just pick stuff and he'll put stuff to it that fits him. But if I'm like, man, we gotta make a good song out of this.
Yeah.
So I have to go in.
Yeah.
And I know Josh, he spit me the verse. I'm like, let me see how I'm gonna go in and how I'm gonna finesse the track. So he had a whole new beat
To help amplify
what he's saying.
What he's saying, yeah.
So I actually took some regular drums. They was kind of like some East Coast style drums. And I put them into that song, and I put a sample from the Red Lion sample with the dude yelling, yeah, yeah. It's the sample that's KO. You know this sample. It's from Nas. It Ain't Hard to Tell. The dude that's kind of talking in there. Yeah. So the dude. I use that, giving a shout out to Large Professor too. Okay. Because Large Professor actually did the beat.
Wow.
But I took that, and I've heard a few people actually use that sample, but in different ways. So I used the Red Mountain sample to give it a little bit of a little extra life to the song. You know what I mean? Just to show people that Josh could rap. And I'm very particular about how. Me being who I am, I'm like I've got a lot of roles with my guys.
Right.
It's not just the producer. It's not just an engineer. I'm looking at the entire image of what we're going to do.
Okay.
So
that was
if I know him,
next question. Go ahead.
I want to see everybody in their best light, and I can't put no whack shit out. I'm kind of mad at I'm Back because I don't like the drums on I'm Back.
What? Do you know every time we took I'm Back somewhere, we shut the fucking building down?
I feel it.
Every time.
Yeah.
Every time.
Every time.
I'm picky. I'm particular.
Bro, we want the breaks because we want the Yakums. They was looking at him funny when he first walked in there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
always, man.
Who is this hip hop dressed Robin Thicke looking motherfucker? And then he get up there and he starts spitting. Fuck. And then the beat come in and it's like, oh. Yeah. Do you understand?
Because that's another song that had another set of drums on it.
Okay.
It didn't have those drums.
The original beat.
Yeah, the original beat didn't have those drums. It had some other shit on there. And it was a track that Rodney had did by himself. Not to disrespect what Rodney does, but if I know that Josh picking this song, I got to make sure that I'm going all the way in too. And I don't just do it just for the 50-50 part either.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not that picky about that, but because he did Go Fed by himself. Go Fed is another song that he did. And Go Fed, I was like, bitch, you didn't let me do it? I'm like, what you mean? Like, oh my God, that beat was so hard. Yeah, and Rodney did that one by himself.
So my question would be, is it harder to convince the artist that this is in the best interest, or as co-producers to convince Rodney that it's in the best interest?
Rodney trusts me.
Yeah. Okay.
And Josh trusts me too, because when they hear it, they be like, oh my God, this shit is so fucking hot. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of response that they give me.
Right. And I think it's the relationship you get with people too.
Okay.
That's one thing. It's the relationship. Because I mean, it's people that we came in here that we will record. And we tell them, look, this is the best, like, you should do this. And they like, nah, man, nah.
Yeah, they resist.
Because at home in the mirror, it sound like this, right?
And then it come to a point where we just like, okay, fuck it. Like, if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. And, like, one thing we always talk about is you want the best product coming out here, man.
Yes.
The best product coming. So
I think I tiptoed that line when I used to record a lot of people as well.
Yeah.
When you're trying to coach them, like, hey, soften it up, or like whatever advice you're trying to give them, they're like, no, man.
Well, the thing is,
I think it sounds better like this. So yeah, it's
as a producer, you have to. And I'm an engineer too, so people pay me to engineer their music.
Right.
So a lot of my clients, they trust me because they've seen something that I've done already. You know, but when you're kind of up and coming, people don't always know that we work with Zero and that we work with Chopper Style.
Oh yeah,
they don't know that.
Yeah,
that's why I want to hang up all of our.
Popping, right? Info? Yeah, it was popping for.
But even he had some trust issues with us.
Well, I mean,
but that's his. That's the thing is that is not always a reflection of us.
No,
because if they don't pop, that ain't a reflection of us.
No,
you know what I'm saying? And I had to kind of like start understanding myself
because the artist has a responsibility to put in their own work.
So we also remember where Trey kind of went mainstream and Zero couldn't cross over, and then I think he even said at some point that he understands that transition, that he wasn't the line that he was supposed to tote a little bit. He wasn't able to tote it like as well as Trey was when Trey was at the highlight of his shit too, though. You know what I mean? So respectably.
So
there's a likability factor and all that stuff.
It's politics.
Yeah,
you know, you got to kiss babies, you got to shake hands. Like you have to. You have to take full advantage of.
You can't be reclusive.
Because Horseman was plugged. He was plugged.
He was playing our music every day.
Yeah, he was plugged
in the club every night when the club was full and the fucking strippers was going stupid off that song. It wasn't even a fucking dance song. It was slow. You know, it was just kind of really laid back, but it was hard. And then once we got that feature from Zero, that Info didn't know what to do with it because he was like, man, who is this nigga, bro?
See?
And I was like, bro, he is like a hard
king of the fucking ghetto.
He didn't really understand.
You mean? You don't know.
Like,
in retrospective, I bet you he does, but at the time,
absolutely,
yeah. Because sometimes, you know, as you know, we used to
ego.
Yes, and we used to reach out like we talked about that with Rocky and 3 and all those other guys. Like I hated 3's music, not because it was trash, because my old lady at the time, she loved it, and I was just like, bitch, you're supposed to love our shit. Like fuck that nigga. You know, that's the way that we rock.
That's how we rock.
But when I got to know 3 as a person, I was like, damn, he's really cool. He's chill. He got the live band, and I started listening to the music aspect of it. I was like, damn, man, we was like, man, this nigga was actually really dope. Like Rocky, we used to turn up the Rocky shit, so when we did Bitches Galore, he turned up to our shit, the little women that he brought with him. They turned up with us too.
They started liking our music.
Yes, and we created a relationship, right? And I followed Rocky on Twitter for years after that.
When you see somebody else that's grinding like you grinding, you see him there every week. And
you reminded me of him and Chip outside doing the battle.
Doing the little battle rap. They were doing the real live battle rap.
I'm like, that's all y'all got?
I said, damn, these niggas coming with this shit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
But it was good, though. It's the creative energy that actually energizes you. So, so as producers, it's easier for you guys to have business relationships with other artists, right?
Yeah.
What's the struggle for other artists to actually be submissive, right? And not to be like, not submissive in the point you're better than me, but submissive to the point where it's like, I like their style. I fuck with you. I want to record with you.
A lot of that is just being in here and just showing them what you're capable of. You know, they don't all, like I said, we don't make the same style all the time.
Right.
We don't have the same type of music every time. Like, we have a guy we working with, Mza Milo, shout out to him.
Yeah, I know Mza.
You know, he's like...
Pep shot his video.
Yeah. So, with Milo, he's pretty much the type, okay, I want to sound kind of like this. So, it's our job to deliver. Or he'll say, let me get a sample. Let me get a song with this sample in it. And so once we had to do it, we just had to show him.
Right.
He's already seen what we're capable of because we've done songs with him in 2009 or 2010, you know, but it's been a while. You know, and a lot of times the artists don't always look at other artists' music. They not with them, they have egos. But we have something that they need. They need recording space. They need tracks. They need another ear that's going to tell them, what to do. When you're an artist, they think that a lot of when they get advice, from other artists, they always think that
it's a downplay.
Yeah, you're downplaying what they're doing.
This is what you should do.
Yeah, and it's like a lot of ego. And it's like that's why a lot of the artists beef sometimes. And it really shouldn't be like that. And they think that it's hate. It's not hate. No. It's not hate at all. You should just, take the advice.
The problem
sometimes niggas be hating.
Just a lot of niggas are just too sensitive, and you got your guards up against criticism. But the truth of the matter is, if ain't nobody criticizing you, then you ain't doing shit.
So as 80s babies, right? Are we more acceptance to criticism? Because I meet a lot of the younger guys and I'm like, I don't like that. Like when I tell people I don't like Kendrick's voice, they think that I mean that Kendrick's not dope and he's whack as fuck, right?
I just don't like that particular shit.
His voice,
I don't like a lot of people either.
His voice just doesn't. J. Cole's too monotone. I love Trey the Truth. Met Trey the Truth at fucking.
And you know what? When
he's so monotone,
I think when you say you don't
music.
Yeah, because I think when you say somebody, when you're not fucking with a nigga, you don't like his sound. It ain't that he can't rap or he not putting the lyrics or the words or the meanings together. It's you're not vibing with the sound or the energy he giving off. That's what it is.
People feel like if you don't like something they like, then you
hate.
You hate the.
You don't have to like what I like.
People like similar. People like to be like them. So they like things. Okay, I like to be around people that are like me. I like to do things that people are like me.
You're never gonna grow.
People don't like to be different because when you're different, you feel like you're an outcast sometimes. So it's the same. It's the same thing. So when you say I don't like the music that you like. Oh man, you ain't from all H-Town. I'm from H-Town. Yeah. All H-Town music ain't tight to me.
Exactly.
It's not.
It ain't. It all ain't tight to me.
And I'm gonna plug you in on this, KO, because you from the Bronx. Mm-hmm. So you have a different taste in music. Exactly. But with your mind, you think you brought a lot of different flavor to us. Like you're a Nas fan. You don't see everything that Jay-Z do as golden, but you like Nas. You know what I'm saying? So how do you feel about that? And you being a person that's really an outsider. And being not an outsider, but you're different.
You from a different culture than what we from.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm zoned out.
My nigga. So, okay, I'll lead you in there because we kind of talked about that last week, right? So we were talking about.
I'm sorry.
He didn't like the Black Album. No, you could. He didn't like the Black Album initially, right? But then he later on, in retrospect, like I said, when you get back to actually, because I understand. It was a standard to that, right? He didn't like the Black Album because Hov said that was his last album. And coming from Reasonable Doubts, his bar was set too high.
Yeah, really from Blueprint, because the Blueprint is really the Blueprint is.
And Carl, before you say that, you put me on the Blueprint. You were jamming the shit out that motherfucker all summer. What was that, like summer 02?
So
01, but man, he was jamming the fuck out the Blueprint.
I like Jay.
Yes.
Yeah, I know. You the one that put me on him.
But he's not.
But but see, I understand. You being from New York, I think you know things about.
I think everybody is biased.
Go ahead. Okay.
I think everybody is biased. Like you say, you don't think Hov is that nigga. Yeah. Other people think Hov is the god of rap.
Yeah.
I
mean, some people do.
Top 5.
And some people are like, Lil Wayne is the best alive. No, it's all about you.
I don't know about this.
Some people do though. I'm not saying you do. I'm not saying I do.
No.
But it's just like
a lot of people.
Everybody got their own mix, and it's like it is what it is.
A lot of people do.
Look, and it's all about what feeling that artist invokes in you.
Yeah. Hip hop is not my favorite. It's not my favorite music.
Okay.
I love hip hop.
Right.
But hip hop is not my favorite music.
What is?
When I was a child, I could not listen to shit. I had to sneak. I had to sneak to listen to 97.9. You know what I'm saying?
That's the son of a preacher, man.
But when my parents wasn't in that mix and they was still doing some world stuff, they was jamming the Prince. Yeah. They was jamming
Parliament Funkadelic. They was past the crowd of favors.
They was jamming. You know what I'm saying? So my mind is a little different. I like that music a lot better. I'm more of a orchestra and classical. They made me sit and watch Yanni. I don't know if y'all ever heard of this, but
Yanni?
this dude was like, when I watched that, my mind was like,
genius.
You know, so, but I still love hip hop, but it's not just my favorite. And I think that's what helps me is because I like a lot of different music.
Okay.
I can sit and listen to a symphony and I hear the strings and I hear every single melody.
You can find the beauty in all music.
And everything. Some music I know people, I jam in my car, I know certain people riding my car, I'm just like, okay, they ain't gonna like this, so I'm just, what you wanna listen to?
Yeah.
But when I'm riding my car by myself, dog, you will hear, there will be some shit blasting on my shit that you will not even think of.
Right.
But it's just different people, different things. You got to understand that, look, everybody's creative. Everybody like different things. And just because you don't like what I don't like, don't mean he ain't dope. And I think that's the difference. Because...
And it don't mean somebody hating.
Yeah, because I don't like you as an artist. I don't like to listen to your music like I listen to other. It don't mean you're not dope.
I don't think nobody here jam country music, but nobody's going to dispute... But nobody's gonna dispute that Garth Brooks is a dope artist, or Randy Travis is a dope artist.
I don't listen to country music, but you
know they done made a. I've never heard of Celine Dion a day in my. I've never listened. I might have heard a song from her and don't know it. But I know she a dope artist because she done made a whole bunch of fucking money. She has a fan base that's
the content was better than rap for a long time. Because he'll talk about a bitch because it was vulnerable, right?
But I'm just saying you have a healthy respect for every genre, everybody's. You understand what I mean?
What made me like it? I worked at Pally Raw, right? Doing the rodeo.
Yeah, you gonna hear a mixture of shit.
And that nigga, he was talking about how his bitch cheated. She was cheating on him and he didn't know. And she steady calling this other nigga and he blowing her phone up and he trying to get back with her and da-da-da-da. But at the end of the song, it's like, I just want my dog back. I wasn't even talking about you. I was talking about the dog the whole time.
It's a nice little twist on it.
Yeah, bro. Like, you know, and one of my favorite songs was basically If Heaven Sent the Angel. So he was talking about a homeless.
This is Garth Brooks?
No, man, this is deeper than him. But he's talking about people like a homeless guy on the corner. Like, what if Heaven sent that angel for you to get him that money, to get him some food? This little girl got cancer. This little girl got cancer. She passed away. What if Heaven? What if God put her in your life? Like it was deep.
Yeah.
Like for her to pass away, for you to understand.
Get perspective.
What's deeper than Garth Brooks? Kenny Rogers?
I don't even know. I gotta Google the song, bro, because like, I don't remember. But the songs that I'm telling you about, like I said, like it had content into it. So you have to get past the country. See, I like the guitars.
Yeah.
I like the fucking drums. I like the different things.
I think my grandmother burned me out on country.
I like it. So
that southern thing, because I can't fuck with it.
Well, to me, so y'all remember going to Kinston Yetters in 2006? Fuck that, 1996.
Yeah, we've been to a few of them.
Yeah. And the Mexican beats was on. We be in the corner, high as hell off the weed, freestyling over the Mexican. They like freestyle, and that bitch be.
But you can catch that drum pattern. No way, Jose.
Yeah, nigga, like, bro, like, so. I think culturally, you know, this is one of the beautiful things about living in Houston, right? It's so diverse, right? I've been to Chinese parties.
I was gonna say that, man. You know, growing up the way we grew up. Especially on the southwest side of Houston, and going to the schools that we went to, I went to elementary school that was basically in a white neighborhood, but in the 80s, that's when you saw the influx of the different cultures coming here. So the Indians and the Hispanics.
Let's go back to the bias.
Being exposed early.
To the bias because I want to stick on that. I want to put Big Baby under the fucking light he's sitting up under right now, right? So will you admit that New York had bias as well? Because I think that's what Duke was kind of headed with what he was asking you when he was just like, okay, you had to pick Pac or Big, West Coast, East Coast, right? So and then in that aspect, Hove, Nas, like Wu, Guru, whoever the fuck you had to pick, there was bias in between. So North Side, South Side, right? Houston, so the Bronx, Brooklyn, all Queens. There was so there is bias when you think about that though, right? I think that was kind of the point of that question, though.
Of course, there's bias.
So do you? Is Hov not
But
the
I
top
think
five
people-
nigga
but I think
because
people-
of your biasness though? Because you like he not that nigga. He didn't. Or you say he didn't live that lifestyle? What creates that bias?
No,
That's what. Because we know what it was here.
I mean, he was just always son. He wasn't that one. You know what I'm saying?
But he wound up being bigger than.
I mean, yeah,
And
you
how
have to
did-
look at success wise, but I'm talking about lyrically. Are we talking about lyrics, or we talking about being a businessman?
I'm talking about both.
I think.
Well, we gotta separate them because they're not the same.
It's not.
Nah.
It's not.
You know.
We talking about nigga. He's dope. He's a dope lyricist.
He not my dope. He not my.
But-
You know,
but
I told my brother this many times. I fuck with Jay-Z, but he not.
Same
He
here.
probably not even in my top 10, bro.
Same.
As just a lyrically, just how he makes me feel, his gravitational pull. His my favorite project of his. I'm just gonna be real. My favorite project of his is Black Album. You know what I'm saying? That album to me is.
American Gangster too.
It's lit.
I was because I was going through my Jay-Z phase.
He always
You know
had-
what I mean? I've gone through a phase with a lot of different rappers, but there's always the certain ones that stand out to me that I always go back to.
He's always had good lyrics. Like, I mean, he comes across good lyrics, but I think one thing that helps him is the appearance, the swagger, the businessman. That, I think that's what pushed him along further than others. You know what I'm saying?
He's the fucking.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's
But
considered the
to
coldest
me,
hustler of all time.
3,000? Andre 3,000?
That's my nigga.
Yes.
That's my nigga.
Come on,
you
dog.
talking a whole nother level.
Come on.
That's why I told him Drake. Would you say
I'm gonna put it to you like
Jay-Z
this.
or D?
It depends. But go ahead.
I've never purchased.
If we put him in a rapping boxing match,
ahead,
I think
dude.
DMX
Talk that shit, man.
would
I
be.
know you fuck with Hov, man. Come on, man.
I'm gonna put it to you like this.
Come on, man.
I've never ever in my life purchased a DMX project.
Never.
Shots.
Ever.
I'm adding them.
And I'm gonna tell you like this. For some reason, when I don't feel you, something about you, and I feel like you kind of just be hating sometimes, and you got your own issues, sometimes I be picking up on it. Just like the same thing with the nigga Drake. Drake was cool with me until he started trying to kill niggas. And he started saying this kind of shit.
Oh, yeah.
But with DMX, I know that DMX was a good artist. I like a lot of his songs.
That nigga just
I like Get At Me Dog. I like Rough Riders Anthem. I like some X shit on the Rough Riders project. He have a ton of good songs. But for some reason, I never felt that he to me, he thinks about what other people do too much. And I just never felt that coming from him. His music is good, but just because I like your music does not necessarily mean I like you. I'm not going to purchase your music. I'm not going to always do that.
But you gotta understand where he come from.
I understand that. But see, the thing is,
He come from.
That's how kind of person.
You know what?
You know
it's not personal.
No, you know what the problem. You know what the problem. The problem with DMX is he did not have the follow up. You understand what I'm saying?
He had
JKP.
5 albums in a row.
All of those was jamming, but he stopped. It stopped.
No, back to what he said.
It stopped.
He said he cared
And he gave you those 5 albums in a short ass cluster. I mean, that motherfucker was dropping 2 albums in 1 year
and setting records.
and setting records.
And he still was going platinum.
But you gotta understand.
I fuck with DMX, nigga. I fuck with Hey, Slippin' is one of the most powerful songs ever, bro.
A beautiful song. I love
One
that
of the
song.
most powerful songs ever. I thought he had a chance to be that nigga that I thought he had a chance to fall
new Pac.
into the void that Pac had left.
Chill with that shit.
I'm
No,
being
not.
real, nigga. At the time, we was missing that shit, and he just came with this shit. And we like, damn, ain't nobody been putting out no music
There's
like
no vulnerability to the music.
Yeah.
After Apocalypse.
Slipping. And I'm just talking about the emotion because he invoked a strong
It's
emotion.
3 songs that made me cry. Dear Mama, Slipping, Cleaning Out My Closet, Eminem, after I got my mama door kicked in, and I always tell people about that shit. Like those songs, those are 3 songs that made me like rap songs that made me. There's other songs like love songs, Bitch Broke Your Heart that made you cry. Like yeah, okay, cool, but like emotionally, like Be tough. Like those are 3 songs. So you're not wrong. You're not wrong on that. I just wanted to get into his bag and have the floor.
Yeah.
And he probably forgot because he's tired. Yeah.
But and it's not a personal thing with DMX, but I've seen him make comments about too. It's like you have a certain type of he said something in regards to the Nelly line where he said, I think my butt getting big. That right there kind of messed with me a little bit because it's like if you don't have, you're a reader. You can write. You don't understand what he was saying about a woman being in the mirror looking at herself saying, I think my butt getting big.
Who said that?
Nelly said that on the song.
I mean, who tried
DMX. DMX.
He was just
gave me the pussy, that ass is getting fatter.
Yeah. Man,
but he was hating on Nelly at that time. And then it's like, bro, you got your own set of issues, my G. You know what I'm saying? But if I ain't feeling something about you, you can have a lot of good songs. Like Drake got a lot of good songs. But it's something about him that that made me lose. It's like, I'm not connecting with that. You pick good beats. You sound really good coming through that Phantom Power, fam.
Yeah, facts.
But something about you ain't right.
I don't like that.
So it's
talk. Talk your talk, man.
I'm not a
talk your talk, cause he gonna tell you
he's dry,
and he been on this black.
He real dry.
His whole persona, I'm just not.
It's not real, bro.
I've never been on that way.
And I like Drake music.
So this one thing I would always. Do y'all think he is a entertainer?
Exactly.
Facts.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what he is.
Yeah, entertainer.
That's exactly.
So. Like you say, you don't like his music, but you think as far as, is he a good entertainer?
I think he's a great person.
Okay.
I think he's a great person in life.
And I think that's what some people get away. So I don't take nothing away from Drake, but like he said, when Drake was trying to be hard, look.
Yeah.
But I watch.
But you understand it's because of who he's hanging around.
So
now every time, but listen, every time you get into something, you got one of the biggest gangsters in rap game stepping up and trying to fucking. But I'm saying it puts him. It's a false sense, bro.
And see, and that's why
that's what I'm saying.
That's why I think people
when they ready to get at you.
Yeah. But I think that's what people get away from because. I was watching Training Day. Training Day. Denzel watched it. I mean, he put on one of the best performances on Training Day. And it's like, it made me hate him. It made me hate him as a person. Like, dude, but he put that act on some well, but all it was entertainment.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it comes to the point, when do you stop entertaining and let it be entertainment and not let it control your life?
Yeah.
Control who you are.
And I understand where you're going right there. So he's yes. Yeah, no, you can have it, because I just want to make a point of, I understand exactly what he's saying. Like, it doesn't get past a level of entertainment for me. There's some rappers, when they say stuff, like, when people hear us rap, they be like, bro, like, y'all really, like, it's because, like,
they feel it.
Yes.
People can really feel that. Some people, they don't have that extra sense to get in. The people don't have that extra sense. Like, when I listen to 21 Savage, and a nigga said something like, when I close my eyes, I see dead people, dog. I was like, man, this nigga hurt somebody.
Yeah.
Because if you have been to war, or if you've been in the room with somebody that has been to war,
yes,
they have a certain level of PTSD.
Right. Yeah.
You see that in your head over and over. You know what I'm saying? That is a certain level. I felt that. And he ain't even the best lyricist.
No,
but he ain't even trash. He good. He all right. 21, but I'm saying
he's straight to the point.
21 got the slow.
He not rapping. He not rapping on a
when that nigga said, I'm like hot sauce on my chicken, I was like, bitch, you dead to me.
But you wasn't feeling that bar. I mean, everybody ain't got to feel that bar. I mean, but on some of his other songs, I'll be feeling them. Like, that's the project he got with him and Offset, Without Warning. That's my favorite project all year. Every time Daryl get in the car, that's what I'm playing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's a good project. To me.
So for me, he just.
21 got something.
That's great. I'm not saying, all right, I have to take that back, right?
It's like
he's not for me. You know what I mean? He's not trash. He's not trash. He's not for me. I never like Gucci either, though. I like Jeezy. I like Jeezy.
You know what? I'm not the biggest Gucci fan, but I fuck with Trap House 3.
There's a couple songs.
I fuck with Trap House 3.
It's not to be distinguished with the fact that, you know, that he gets money. Like, he sells records. He sells our shows.
Yeah,
it's great.
Yo
Gotti is great. I think Yo Gotti is a great person. Everything he does for the city and the state, I think it's dope. But I don't think Yo Gotti can fucking rap, bro. Yeah, that's just me. Like, that's just me. I just got into Moneybagg Yo. It took me
fuck with Moneybagg.
It took me a little, when he fucked with NBA Youngboy with the Fat Baby, when I was like, okay, he sound like a knockoff Kevin Gates. But then Kevin Gates is like Moneybagg Yo. I'm right on side of him. I'm standing next to him. I understand. Okay.
I fuck with Moneybagg. He got me on the 2 Federal when doing too much.
I was speaking, nigga, that you start off and you be like, all right, he trash. Because at first I was like, oh, Yo Gotti, he forcing the shit. He come in the game at the wrong time. Everybody talking about dope. He talking about dope.
He sounded like
I respect a nigga that's gonna make you like him, though. He gonna put some more.
You know what?
And make you like him.
In the hood club, the after hours, that's who they play. They playing a lot of Moneybagg and shit like that.
They play Moneybagg Yo and they fuck with that.
I Am album, I fucking bought the shit. And then it was a big disappointment because he was doing this singing shit, and it was just transitioning to this new rap. And it may not have even been trash if I listened to it now, but it was new to my ears, and it was like everybody was doing the same sound. I think that's where the game is so flooded.
That's what's
I don't
wrong.
Want to hear knockoff Kevin Gates.
You got to
through Moneybagg Yo. I don't want to hear it.
Does everybody have to capitulate to this formula?
This is from a woman. Yeah, and this is from a woman, man. She's telling me that Moneybagg sounded like a knockoff Kevin Gates.
These are the guys that are trying to go pop, like you say, though. They're not trying to rap. I don't want to say pop music, but rap is turning to pop music. It's pop.
It's hair metal. A lot of what we're in the hair metal phase of.
I'm gonna have to make a point, and then we're gonna transition, and we'll talk about some next topic. But my whole
it's
point,
chronic good, y'all. My
whole point of some of these things, right, is people talk about everybody has to chase this sound, right?
No, you don't.
Think about the artists who actually went platinum this year. Name the 10.
We talked about this.
But name the 10 artists that went platinum. They actually had content, right? So Drake get into his bag, of course. The Migos get into their bag.
Triple Red and stuff. Hear that.
XXXTentacion.
Yeah.
Right? Kendrick, Cole, like everybody that I just named actually had content on their album. Whether we like it or not, or it's new school, old school, whatever we think about it, everybody that, if you look at the people that the top 10 niggas that went platinum this year, they actually had content. So when people tell me that people don't want lyrics, or they don't want this, or they don't want that, like, no. Like, if you want to be a 6ix9ine in the show, right? Like, because I can't wait to 30 for 30 rappers when these niggas broke as hell in 20 to 30 years because they didn't put the money and they didn't watch their own money. And they TLC out here. And yeah, you got the show money, you did this, you did that, but when the tax man come and the tax man say you owe him $35 million and you don't have the money to pay, I can't wait to watch the crumble of these kids because they're not business minded, even though they're getting more money than an E04 would, than a Mystical would, and these dudes back in the old days. I'm just watching the business and the way these dudes are moving, but I'm also watching the professional people and the way that they're moving and the numbers that they're doing.
Half of them gonna throw money away trying to fight cases. I know that much.
Yeah, man. Let's move on though. Let's do on the time. All right. Hey, you know what? We're gonna take a quick break.
The Planet Pert podcast will return after these commercial breaks.